Hi, George here with JustOneDram.com for another whiskey review. Today I've got a bottle of the elusive High West Midwinter Night's Dram. Obviously, it's a play on Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. Anyway, Midwinter Night's Dram is a blend of a 6-year and a 16-year rye whiskey. The 6-year is 95% rye, 5% barley, done by LDI, now known as MGP, as it was bought by MGP. And then the 16-year is 80% rye, 10% corn, 10% barley, done by the Barton Distillery. For those of you familiar with the High West line, that is the exact same blend as the Rendezvous Rye, the 6 and the 16 from LDI and Barton. The big difference here, though, is on the Midwinter, as you'll see just from the color alone, it's picked up a lot of influence from extra maturation in French oak and portwood. So used port barrels. You can definitely see the influence of the port barrels on the color on this. Anyway, this is 98.6 proof, which is 49.3% alcohol by volume. Let's see what it's all about. Bottle was actually a very generous gift from a very special someone. A little hard to track down, but she did it. Alright. Right off the bat, let's take a look at the color here. It's a reddish coppery orange. Really clear that there's a lot of influence, obviously, in primary maturation, but also the portwood, the secondary maturation portwood. Anyway, on the nose it's figs, like jammy plums, dates, raisins, vanilla, caramel, cinnamon, some other baking spices, almost some bitter orange peel. It's really spicy, vibrant, and bright, but very well rounded on the nose. But how does it taste? Up front there's a lot of cinnamon. It's real spicy. More of those jammy fruit notes. Plum, raisin, orange peel, some coriander, mint leaf, juniper, almost a little ginger. Some baked fruits, like a deep, rich, baked, like plum, lots of plum, varying types of plum. You definitely taste a lot of influence from port. It very specifically reminds me of an actual Douro Valley port from Portugal, made from like Touriga Nacional grapes. I don't know if it's because I had a bottle of port nearby me somewhere that I was going to use it as an example, but I moved it. Correction. Empty bottle of port. It reminds me quite a bit of Graham's late bottle vintage 2008 port. I'm not sure if it really... I'm not saying that these are the barrels for this or what was used in High West. It may not have even been a Portuguese port. But this is what I am most reminded of. Not sure because it's the most recent port I've drank, or if it's because it's really that similar in note. Put that on the floor for now. Anyway, the finish is more of that cinnamon, port grapes, jammy, more of the plum, almost a little bit of a menthol, some orange peel again. Gotta say, it's a really interesting, really fun, absolutely delicious bottle to delve into. And I remember when this was first released in there, I believe it was tasting room only. I read about it and I really wanted to try it very, very badly. So if there's one thing I love, it's a good rye. If there's another thing I love, it's interesting secondary cask maturations. So an old, or a blend of a kind of a middle-aged and an older rye, right off the bat is of course fun, interesting, delicious, as shown by the Rendezvous rye and their double rye, which is a 2 and a 16 year. But I always wondered what a really good, almost said a really good port, a really good rye would be after being put into a port cask. But alas, I've waited a long time for this bottle, to the point where I thought that it could never really live up to the expectations I had for it. Thankfully, I was wrong. It definitely met my high expectations for it. Earns top marks here, I would say very solid 96 points on this bottle. Gotta say, if you can find a bottle from a retailer, I don't recommend caving into the people selling them online for far more than they sit on a shelf for. Flippers tend to, in my opinion, ruin it for the people who really want to drink and enjoy a fine bottle. But you can buy from whomever, however you want to. Anyway, hop on this as soon as you can because it's hard to find. So if you have the chance, grab it. Anyway, before I start talking in more circles, I will let you go. And as always, if you like the video, like, subscribe, leave a comment saying what you thought of the video, what you thought of this whiskey, what you'd like to see me review next. Find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, justonedram.com, wherever I end up putting the watermark. All that social media nonsense. Cheers!